Hi, I'm Tim,
And I'm Jennifer.
and we are the Owens Group. And welcome to the radio show, The Psychology of Everyday Success. So, just wanted to kind of start out by saying a little bit about who we are. This is our first crack at this. We're excited, though, about the opportunity to kind of come and share with you some of the things we've been developing and building throughout the years. So, again, I'm Tim and Tim Owens, and I guess a little bit about my background. I'm a counselor by trade, a therapist. I've been in the field for probably 30 years or so, and I've worked with people with substance use and mental health disorders. Um, Also a life coach, and love to really work toward helping people to, in the what we say in the trade, self-actualize, or that is, become the best version of themselves possible, so that they can live their best lives. And that's really kind of what we think about when we talk about the psychology of everyday success. Yes. How do you go about living your best life? Jen, what do you want to say by way of introduction?
Um, just that I've been in the field close to about 25 years, 25 to 30 years myself. And I am a social worker. I'm an author. I am a coach. Help people write books, and I love to write.
Absolutely. And you'll learn more about us as we go, as time goes on. Just wanted, though, to kind of start that way by introducing ourselves. So we are the Owens Group, the and we started in 2007 in the state of Texas, where we really enjoyed. Actually, can I be a little transparent and say we love Texas? As a matter of fact, we have our children and grandchildren live in Texas, and as soon as we get an opportunity, we're moving back. Yeah, but we started it in 2007 in Texas, in the Dallas area, and just have grown the business and developed it since then. We now actually reside in the state of New York, in upstate New York, actually, near the Buffalo area, Rochester, to be exact. And yeah, that's kind of who we are. What we do is we do psychoeducational training and development. So again, we work with people around how to grow, how to develop, how to become their best selves. We help people with all kinds of issues, like, for instance, relationship issues and mental health or wellness issues, overcoming addiction issues, depression, anxiety, you name it. I'm probably talking way too much, Jen. What you jump in? What did you want to say?
Um, just talking about what we're delivering today. And I think that the whole idea around success came is because we talk about it a lot. We talk about what it means to be successful, and we like to dream. And a lot of our dreams have come true. So we decided to um, bring this whole thought life together and these conversations together all into one show, because we feel like with conversation with other people that we can offer some advice sometimes, that or just kind of have conversation in general, that might cause people to go, that's interesting. That's a thought. Is that what healthy really is? So
Mm,
we decided to go ahead and produce this show just to kind of have those conversations.
absolutely. And especially, can we keep it real? Especially in the Black community. Yes. I don't know if you've noticed, but I don't want to alarm you, but Jen and I are both Black. Uh, just kidding. In any case, the reason I bring that up is because often what happens is that in the Black community, we're taught, that counseling and psychology and things of that nature often are not very helpful, or and that you shouldn't actually go and engage in that. That don't worry about your mental health, just keep struggling, just keep grinding, just keep surviving, even though you're sort of wasting away and wasting your life with things that are not healthy, that are not helpful, and that ultimately we pass down from generation to generation. So we want to have those kinds of conversations, those kinds of discussions. How do we as Black people not just survive, but also thrive?
Okay.
How do we figure out how to thrive and again be our best selves and live our best lives in that process?
Mm-hmm.
Does that
So
make sense?
Tim,
Yes.
yes, it does make sense.
Yeah.
So what is a successful relationship? How about we start there?
Okay. Well, let's start with the relationship piece. Um, wow, what is a successful relationship? That's a tough question. You know, on some level, I think it varies, right? Depending on what kind of relationship you're talking about. If we're talking about relationship, romantic relationship, uh, or a parent-child relationship, uh, familial relationships. There are all kinds, obviously, of relationships. But
Right.
I think a successful relationship in general is based in uh, basic respect and and unconditional love.
Mm-hmm.
Respect and unconditional love. Now, let me break that down a bit, right? Um, Especially the piece around unconditional love, because there's a huge difference between loving someone and being in love with someone. Huge difference between loving someone and being in love with someone. I think most of the time what we confuse being in love with actually loving somebody. So being in love is often about how we feel about the person, how they make us feel. You know, when Jen and I first met way back in the day, we've been married 16 years now. So when we first met, oh my gosh, I was head over heels, right? I was sending flowers and just singing songs and I'm just saying I was totally in love with this woman. Pursued her and and fortunately she said yes. So fortunately for me, but that's being in love, yes, and that's great. That there's nothing wrong with that. But I really believe that loving someone is different. So loving someone is actually doing what is in the best interest of the other person. It's doing what is in the best interest of the other person. Sometimes that feels good. Sometimes that does not feel good. Sometimes people like that. They appreciate you for that. Other times they may not. Just I mean, as
Yes.
you think about, you know, loving a child, right? Sometimes you have to actually tell that child no. You have to discipline the child. Sometimes, and so they may not like you. They may not want you, you know, to be around. But what's true is you've done what is in the best interest of that child. You've loved them. Same is true for romantic relationships. You do what's in the best interest of your spouse, you know, given of course the fact that they are not a child and they get to make their own decisions and choices for themselves, right? Not saying you should treat adults like children. All I'm saying though is that when I wholeheartedly know that I've done what I really believe to be in the best interest of my wife, of my children, of my family, of my loved ones, of my friends, of my community, I've loved them.
Mhm.
Those are my thoughts. You know, how about you?
So, well, I guess, do they always feel good? Do successful relationships always feel good? I would have to say, it depends on the work that you're putting in, you know.
Mm,
It really depends on if you know you're trying hard, but it's 100% from
mm,
both sides. I would say that is a relationship that's really working to be successful.
mm,
If it's 100 and the other side is 20%,
mm,
no, that is not a successful relationship. So, um, I would say there needs to be a balance in the relationship in terms of what is actually helping that relationship to thrive.
Sure. That makes sense. So a healthy relationship or a successful relationship is a healthy one, and a healthy relationship is one where there is balance within the
Mhm.
relationship. Is that what I hear you saying?
Yeah, you talked about mutual respect. I think there's
Yeah.
also a sense of transparency and
Mm,
communication that
yeah.
has to happen too. Being able to honestly share with one another and to
Hmm.
talk about just about anything,
Hmm.
without feeling like, um, you're losing something in the
Mm.
process
Wow, you said the
or
T
losing yourself in the
the
process.
process. Yeah. You talked about uh, transparency. Yes,
Hmm.
that's huge because transparency often leads to vulnerability. And
Hmm.
I think that there has to be vulnerability within a relationship in order for it to be healthy and therefore successful. Um,
Hmm.
if I
Definitely.
don't trust you enough to be vulnerable with you, then I'm likely not we're not in a healthy relationship, and therefore not a successful one. Um, so let's go to this question. What are the signs that a relationship is more harmful than helpful? What do
Uh-oh.
you
The signs that a relationship I think are more harmful is when you feel like you don't have an identity. You feel like there are some things happening you don't understand, or you try to speak up about them and you're shut down. You're not allowed to communicate or express your opinion.
think?
To me, that's key. And I've been in relationships like that where my opinion didn't really count, and wasn't even heard.
Hmm.
So those are the relationships that I consider to be a little toxic because
Hmm.
they were relationships that were based on the other person's mindset, their decisions, and
Hmm.
things that they wanted to do, not really considering my own.
Hmm. She's not talking about me, y'all.
No, or else I wouldn't be here.
Okay, okay. Yeah, but I mean that's real talk though. I mean what's true is that sometimes we find ourselves in situations and relationships where there is one person who is dominant in the
Mhm.
relationship to the degree that they don't allow the other person really to have any sense of what we call agency in the business.
Right.
The capacity to make decisions on my own, to be able to do the things that I want to do, to be respected as a full partner in the relationship.
Hmm.
Great
And quite
point.
honestly, you and I have had some conversations like that when we first got together
For
about
sure. For sure.
being dominant
Yeah.
and also about just being able to have my voice be heard and what that looks like. We've talked about that. And that was very important and very good conversations because they led to, I think, a better mutual respect.
Yeah. So you just gonna like throw me under the bus like that. I'm kidding. No,
You're not
really,
perfect.
we are
Neither
not
am
perfect, not
I.
even close. And we don't know everything. We don't think we know
No.
everything, right? And so the other piece, and we are struggling. I mean, we struggle from time to time. We work at this.
Mhm.
This whole relationship thing is not easy.
No.
And I think that's why a lot of them don't survive is because the assumption is that this is supposed to be easy. No, it's hard work. It is
Hmm.
hard work. And as Jen said earlier, it's not 50-50. It's 100-100, right?
Hmm.
That's how that works. So yes, there have been times when she's had to say, hold up, bro. Hold up, my brother. you know, you going a little too fast. My
Yeah.
voice isn't being heard. And
Yes.
in that space, then it required me to step back and go, wait a minute, hold up, let me examine. Let me spend some time thinking about this. Is am I doing that to the one I love? Mm.
Hmm.
Am I doing what is in her best interest?
Hmm. And
Or am
I
I
think
doing it
you're,
because it feels like if I'm doing what feels good to me?
hmm
So, and I'll be very honest that there have been times when I've had to say, you know what, I missed it, I blew it. we used to attend a church in Tulsa, Oklahoma, called Transformation Church, and our pastor there, Michael Todd, is famous for saying, using the acronym HOT: humble, open, and transparent. Right. So we try to have a hot relationship, a hot marriage, be humble, open, and transparent.